Okay, here guys, just want to do a little pre-check mod video for you here on the E-flite Viking Model 12 280. Unfortunately, this the build of this plane isn't wonderful. There's a lot of fiddly stuff, I would call it, that you have to deal with. I haven't even Maiden it yet, but there's so much stuff that you should probably check and make sure you're doing before you fly it, because it could come apart, crash. So yeah, I'll just get to it, what I've done so far myself and what you're going to want to check. First thing you're going to notice when you're doing the build too is your aileron wires. That when you put her up in the fuse there, and you got to glue it down, the wires are very short. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you can get around it. Another thing, these posts here, make sure you get them seated down all the way. I did that first, and then I glued it. And while I was gluing it, I noticed that I think it was this one over here wasn't all the way down, and I had enough time just to get it down in time. So just make sure you get them seated down. The manual says to glue the bottom, of which you will, but I would even go ahead and glue the top as well, just to make sure. Why not, right? Make sure that wing doesn't come off. Glue the top too. Check your landing gear. Mine was pretty crappy, and I would say it still is. Bent all to crap. I bent them back into the best shape I could, and if I got back, you could still see. See if I can get a good angle. It is about 2-3 millimeters higher on the left than it is on the right, and I have bent the living daylights out of it. So just check that. Also, a lot of guys are getting a lot of vibration from these the landing gear here. So I just dabbed a piece of, or blob of CA to there and there, just where the wire meets the plastic, right there and there. Probably keep it from vibrating as much. My tail wheel here was just awful. Let me see if I can get a nice, yeah, you can see it there. I had to actually bend it a bit. Okay, the thing was like a rainbow. That's about the best way I could explain it. It looked terrible. It wasn't holding the plane up at all, so I had to bend that kind of in shape. So check that. Another thing was my, just give me a second here guys, my vertical stabilizer was where it meets the wire right there, in that spot, was way off to the left side. It wasn't even close to center. I would say 2 millimeters at least off to one side. It wasn't like it was even attached. I could just like move it around. So I end up moving it over a bit and putting a little CA in there, and it's all good now. But just make sure you check that, okay guys? Another thing is too, a big one here, is your spinner here. You're going to want to pop off your spinner here. There's a screw there, pop it off. Look on the inside, there's going to be a chunk of plastic left over from the molding from the factory in there. It's going to throw your balance on your spinner way off. Just need to get rid of it with a X-Acto knife, or what I did, what I found very convenient, was I took a screwdriver or something like this, heated it up with a lighter, and I cut it off. It was pretty slick too. So that's another thing. Also in here, your stock little strip of Velcro in there, I took a pair of tweezers and it came off. So I went and got some industrial Velcro. Okay? Put a big fat wide piece in there. You can see that from the back. That should keep that battery in there a little better than I took. She's pretty covered in there. I don't want that battery going anywhere. Lots of guys were smacking down some hard blenders and these things were flying out. So I've heard. I haven't made mine yet. So this is just what I hear. So I also added a strap as well. Something like that. And I just Gorilla Glued that down the bottom onto this Velcro. If it was onto the foam on the bottom, I would have used Foam Safe, but this is how I did it. And if I was to do this strap again, guys, I would have put this underneath my industrial piece. Would have been the better way to do it, but I didn't think of it till later. I think that's about all I've got so far. Actually, you know what else I did too? Because since people were saying the battery hatch is coming off, I tossed a magnet in right there. An extra magnet there, and right there to get a little more hole in that. I actually got the magnet from my my parts beast over there of my AXN. That's my first AXN. It's just parts. I smoked a hydro line with it. So now it's going to be going into the new one. But anyway, I decided to take the magnet off of there and put it into here, and it gives it a little more suction on there. Oh, as you can see. And I also, guys, this little chunk here, some guys were stuffing her in there, and it was moving all around and jiggling. Mine was too. I could jiggling all around like it just didn't fit. What I did, I just put a little bit of Velcro on each side. That's just the fluffy, and put her in there, and it's nice and snug. So show you what I mean here. Get her on. I think my strap and stuff is all in the way, and I'm trying to do it with one hand without hitting that propeller back there of my Visionaire. So there, you can see that it's not jiggling all around, and it's got some good grab with the extra magnet. Another thing, you're probably going to want to balance your prop too, and I think I already told you, balance your spinner. And you can also program your ESC if you want, or just go with the two modes. I'm going to try the two modes at first. But anyway, that's about all I got for you, I think. It's quite a bit too. But anyway, guys, hopefully this helps. And thanks for watching, and take care.